Welcome to the Growth Secrets Podcast, where we break down strategies and techniques that will grow your company like never before. Join us as we uncover growth secrets from some of the greatest marketers and business owners from around the world. Learn the secrets that will allow you to stand apart from the competition and live the life you deserve. And now, here is your host, Cooper Saunders. He is the owner and founder of Wise Guys Digital Marketing, two-time national best-selling author, and a business growth expert. Without any further ado, let's jump right in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Growth Secrets Podcast. Again, I'm Cooper Saunders, filming our first podcast here in beautiful Kansas City, Missouri. And today I want to keep it short. I just wanted to hit on one of my favorite tools that I tell business owners or new business owners, or if you're even thinking about starting a business. This form of market research can really give you an insight on what markets are unsatisfied with, what you could improve, and I'll give you an example of an example that I did with one of my clients. And we'll walk through it. But again, all you need is an internet connection, a free afternoon, and you can really either completely change an industry, completely start a new business, and really get your foot in the door. Because again, every single successful business started off with just solving a problem. I'm going to keep it short, simple, no fluff, no BS. Again, as the first podcast, I've got a lot of things lined up. I've got a lot of great guests coming on. And for this one, again, I want to get the foot in the door, explain one of my favorite ways that business owners can get started, either finding a new, niche that really is underserved, or if you're just looking for another thing to improve on, this is it. Let's jump right in. All right, so we call this the 1-star improvement plan. And the way I sort of came about it was, I had a client, again, still have the client. He's an electrician, and we were trying to find a different way, or really just a way to get ahead of the competition. And like so many businesses, he'll send out a survey, or he'll ask his, clients, hey, how did we do? What'd you think? All that good stuff. And again, he got just the generic answers of, oh yeah, it was great. You did a great job. And he's like, well, I can't improve too much on it. And I said, well, we've got to figure out something. We've got to do something, because right now we're sort of stale. We need a new front to move on. So as we were sitting there, I asked him, I said, sat back in his chair, and I said, what do electricians do that really upset people? What is it that to him, I know I could think of stuff because I'm outside of the business. But when you're a business owner, when you're starting a business, or you're looking to break onto a new front, you're sort of blinded by the obvious problems, right? With electricians, again, I could think of a lot of stuff, but I didn't want to come up with the problems. I wanted him to realize it, right? And so, again, and I didn't want to come up with a couple of things and then just be so off base where it's like, well, I don't even think that's true. What's your problem, kid? So I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do this. So, let's go to Google, type in electricians in Kansas City, and let's read what people are pissed off about. Let's just go through the 1 stars and figure out, from your competitors, even not your competitors, even look at your reviews. Who knows? Either in your city, if there's not that many 1-star reviews, you can go to like LA or something, and you can grab 5 or 6 things that come up frequently. Okay, if you see something, a problem that comes up more than 5 or 6 times for more than one company, that's an industry thing. Hey, this industry is completely off with something. And so in our national best-selling book, I actually have what we actually found. Let me grab it real quick. Thank you, Jess. All right. So let's see. Jessica is our producer, and she just threw it at my head, and I'm like, okay. So we have to figure out, so what we found on a consistent basis, again, this isn't just 1 or 2 things that they found or, he stumbled upon. These are things that we found 5, 6, 7 times. Now the complaints included late, didn't show up on time. Yeah, that happens, right? So if you've ever had electrical work done on your house or really any service base, you're like, hey, we'll be there from 8 a.m. to midnight. Okay, well, my whole day's ruined, right? They're rude. I don't know if that is just an employee basis or that is, the service-based, industry in general. I know that I tend to notice that with certain industries, and I don't know if that, again, that's an industry thing. You with cars, sometimes service-based businesses. Not a lot though. I really enjoy the transition, like plumbers, electricians, all those guys are very, very outstanding. And it's just a key few, but those key few do really ruin it for the majority of people. Uniform was dirty or no uniform. Unmarked vans / crazy drivers didn't finish the job correctly. And again, I have a little note in our book. Make sure that the complaint comes up at least 6 or 7 times. Any less than that, you might be wasting your time. And so what we did was we took down this list and we asked ourselves, how do we improve on this? Okay, and to start off with, we'll start from the top. Okay, the late didn't show up on the proposed time. What we did was we enabled and installed a GPS system on the trucks. What would happen would be when they made the appointment, we would send them a link. Say, hey, track your driver. Almost like, if you've ever ordered anything on Amazon, you sort of get a general, especially when Amazon is actually delivering it, you get where the truck is now in the proposed time within at least like 30 minutes, right? So what we did was we used that same, not to that great of an extent, but we used GPS tracking so someone could pull it up and say, okay, they'll probably be there, they have one job left, they'll probably be here in an hour. And so that cut out a massive portion of people that are upset because, like my client said, that is one problem that he has is that, he'll get calls every hour. Hey, where's the electrician? Where's the electrician? So this cut back on him having to waste a bunch of time answering calls, dealing with angry customers. And that right there was a massive selling point that we could promote and bring in a lot of new clients. Rude. Okay, this is just a simple fix. Okay, if you feel that you have an employee that might be rude or standoffish, you need to, nip it in the butt right there. And I let him handle that. I said, if you got a problem with rude electricians, I don't think he had any. All of his guys were super nice, but that isn't another thing you have to pay attention to. Uniform was dirty or no uniform. Again, we made sure, or he made sure from that point on, before going to any jobs, his guys had clean uniforms and they were wearing their uniform correctly. And that's just another thing to, sweat the details on that type of stuff, because every single, interaction, every single, the first impression matters. And you need to make sure that the people that are representing your company go out and make it look beautiful, right? Unmarked vans, crazy drivers. And this crazy driver problem was incorporated in the first fix. Right, you could see, and you can also, I think on the admin, I don't know, you couldn't see it from the customer, but on the admin, you could see how fast they're going. If there is any, erratic driving, let's say they smash on the brakes. So that was another great tool that we incorporated. And the unmarked vans, the white old vans, he didn't have that problem. He had all new trucks and they were all wrapped already. So he was like, however, I got that, handled. Didn't finish the job correctly. He incorporated a finishing checklist, right? And again, you want to make sure that the job's finished correctly so you don't have to go back, waste more time. And that's just the simple part of it. You need to make sure the job was done correctly. He had a checklist that his drivers had or his electricians had. He went over it with the client. Hey, did we, make everything great? Is this how you're wanting it? Yes, yes, yes. And that really put the electrician would walk the homeowner or business owner through what they fixed. And that really helped out, especially with the Google reviews, right? And gaining those Google reviews, because at the end you say, okay, everything looks great. Do you mind leaving me a Google review? just for all the job we've done. Of course, you walked through it, made sure everything looks good, flipped the switch, did whatever you fixed, and his reviews grew very, very quickly. Now, once we made these changes, we promoted it, we sent it to his email marketing, and again, it just generated so many referrals, and it really intrigued people like, you track the vans, I'm not going to be sitting around all day. We created an ad that really brought home, hey, you're not going to be, we had a lady sitting and the clock's whining, and she's looking at her watch. And, when we fix that problem, right? So we put in their mind, hey, this doesn't have to be you anymore. We fix this problem. Give us a call. And so right there is a solution for, businesses that, let's say you are a service-based business, but it could happen and it can work for any industry. Gather 5 or 6 things that you see frequently on those 1-star reviews. And another tool you could use if you're not, in a company or a business that really has a lot of Google reviews, or if you're like an e-commerce or you're looking to start something else, Facebook groups are huge in understanding the target market's needs and wants. Okay, so if you go to let's say a cycling or a bicycle Facebook group, and you see you join, and you're trying to find a way to make some money in the cycling world, and you just simply post, or you just look around at people's comments, and they say, blah blah blah, or they post something, hey, do you know any good recommendations for pedals? And even you can post, hey, what's one thing that you could wish you could fix in the cycling world? What product? What is it? What can we help with? And you will get, and don't make it sound salesy, right? But you will get so many people telling you, hey, XYZ could be better. ABC, before I bike would be great, and I don't know too much about the cycling industry, but you get the example of all you're trying to do is find one thing that you can drastically improve and you're good to go. One thing, like with the tracked vans for my electrician client, that grew his business, I think within 3 months, like 20%. Okay, everyone say, I love how you can track your vans. I love it. And that's just another thing that you can use to grow your business. And that is, just doink my mic, that is an amazing way to get perspective on what your target market wants and needs. Once you have these lists and you find a solution, promote it. Okay, send it to your email marketing list, post it on social media, make a video advertisement, put it on YouTube, anything that you can do to show your target market that this is what we fixed and we want you to know about it. Okay, and so if you've got any questions, email me, send me a text at 816-708-0814. If you've got any questions, I can walk you through it a little bit better. I can sort of tailor it to your industry. And I really, really thank you for listening to this first podcast. Again, we've got so many great guests that are coming on that are going to share tips and tricks that they have that you can use to grow your business. Again, if you're looking to get ahead, this 1-star improvement plan will give you insight that you will not get with typical market research. And the best part is it is free. On the next show, we're going to talk about focus, okay? What it means to make sure that you're not just blowing your assets everywhere. In this marketing method, we were able to generate $1.5 million for a law firm in 2021 alone with implementing this practice. I look forward to speaking to you guys next week, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Growth Secrets Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. We really appreciate that effort, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Growth Secrets Podcast.